Hi everyone, my name is Olivia Gonzalez and I am a senior at Arizona State University. My project that I worked on with the Millennium Fellows was Talent Match, a mentoring organization here at ASU that works with 4th and 5th graders from around the area, brings them to school, teaches them talents, and sort of introduces them to college life. So for the first question, what is the most beneficial change you saw in yourself personally thanks to the Millennium Fellowship experience? The first, the most beneficial change that I personally saw in myself to this experience would have to be me allowing myself the space to be heard. Something, the way that I perceive myself as a leader and the way I interact in public spaces normally is I'm someone that sort of steps back and like lets other people fill the room. But with the values that the Millennium Fellowship had, it was easier for me to sort of take a step forward and put my opinions out there, which I really appreciated and is something that I have been working on bringing into the rest of my life. Question number 2. What are the 5 most important professional skills you developed thanks to Millennium experience? The first skill that I would have to say is confidence. Like I was saying with the first response, this opportunity has given me the experience to be confident in who I am as an individual and in taking up the space that I've been given. Number 2 would be the ability to give constructive feedback. I think that the peer feedback time that we had was very valuable and important. Number 3, good interview questions to ask. On our last day, we talked about how to present yourself in an interview and what sort of questions to ask, how to answer questions. But something that was beneficial for me was learning how to ask questions or what to ask questions about and not being too critical of the questions that I think of. Number 4, how to be more comfortable being myself in interviews. Also something I struggled with, just understanding that it's more of a conversation and figuring out if you're the right fit for the company and if they're the right fit for you. I found that very important. And then number 5, how to community map, which I really appreciated. Question number 3 is describe one challenge in your student group or community project, how you applied something you learned from the Millennium Fellowship to the challenging situation, and how you will approach future challenges in the future as a result. So what I really found important was the importance of empathy because this semester my program sort of struggled getting off the ground and we had some issues in communication with the school that we're partnering with, but utilizing empathy, I was able to sort of take a step back and take some deep breaths and realize that it's okay, it's not the end of the world if we don't get going right away, if we take another week or two to sort of take some time and reflect and figure things out. I was stressed out because we had to postpone things, but using this empathy as one of our key values is really helpful in understanding where the other side was coming from, and then getting my program, my team and my program off the ground. Number 4, what were your career goals before the Millennium Fellowship experience, and what are your career goals now? Did anything change, and if so, how? So originally, when I joined this fellowship, I just came out of a summer internship where I was a teaching fellow in Minnesota. So I was teaching science to middle schoolers through a summer program. And I was more focused on education coming into the program, but now through this program and just with other things going on in my life, I am looking at more big picture things. I realize that I'm very interested in international relations, international development, and thinking about how I can make the biggest and best impact. And so I'm trying to figure out what my next steps will be, but I'm looking more big picture, broader, outside of the classroom kind of activities. But this program was really useful for helping me learn about social impact careers and just seeing other people who are out there doing the work I want to do and being successful was really gratifying and rewarding because from where I come from, not many people do this kind of work, and it's great to see people actually succeed in doing it. And then number 5, for future students, what are the top 5 reasons for a student to become a Millennium Fellow? First things first, I thought that this fellowship was a great place to meet like-minded people. I loved my cohort. I made a lot of great connections. I knew some of them, but the people that I didn't know were just as great as the people that I did know, and I would recommend it for anyone. Number two, it was a great place to learn more about how to make an effective social impact, because I feel like making a social impact is sort of an esoteric idea that many students have but don't really know how to actually take that theory and put it into practice. And so I think that this program was helpful learning how to do that. Next, I thought that the people should become a fellow because it's a great place to get feedback from peers who care about similar issues, because it's different. I think getting feedback from people may know how to run organizations well, but they may not know how to necessarily run social impact organizations, and knowing like the nuance of it, I think is very useful in working with these people. And then additionally, I believe it is a great place to challenge yourself and your intentions behind your motivations. A lot of the curriculum that we covered talked about sort of why people do what they do and why people would want to potentially do international development work, and sort of what motivates that. And so I think it's a good place to sort of question why people get into this work in the first place, and it's helped me do that as well. And then finally, I think it's a great place to learn more about the real world of social impact work with the webinars and with Facebook pages, all the events posted. Very useful to see what is actually happening with people who are actually in the field, not just working on college campuses. It's awesome to see what the future could potentially be like. So yeah, that is my self-interview. Thank you.